So, demos and tutorial videos and how to go about it. First, about the demos. In the demo video, I'm going through each prayer or verse, and your job is, of course, to listen to it attentively. You must observe how I pronounce the sounds, the vowels and consonants. As you know, Sanskrit vowels can be short and long. So when I sing or recite, I observe that difference, and you should be able to pick that up. The all-pervading mistake in Sanskrit pronunciation is to unnecessarily prolong a short vowel and to cut short the long one. I gave you an example of that just in the previous video with namaste, which is actually namaste. Now, consonants are also important. For example, one of the most overlooked detail about the Sanskrit consonants is aspiration. It's when you give that extra air force in your consonant, like in bhagavate or bhaktir bhavati naishthiki. It should never sound like bhagavate or bhakti, but bha, that is aspiration. The next thing is syllable arrangement. This is something that specifically applies to singing with the beat. In our ISKCON programs, we chant many prayers with karatalas. So it is crucially important how you place the words within the structure of the karatala beat. Even if you know the correct pronunciation, there is a great chance that you'll corrupt it when you take karatalas in your hands and they take over. You start giving more preference to the beat and you arrange the words rhythmically without thinking much about them. Now, there is a subtle way to pay respect to both the worlds, music and pronunciation, and this I call here syllable arrangement. It is a thin line that ties together both rhythm and Sanskrit. It is quite subtle, and it is a kind of a holy grail of this course, which I want you to master in a specific order. So try to absorb all these details when you are listening to the demos. And there's no need of even trying to emulate the sound on the spot, especially if your native language is very distant from Sanskrit, like most of non-Indian languages. What is important is to absorb the right sound over time by repeated listening. So you need to sharpen your ear really well. The words will sink in and you'll feel yourself when you're ready to actually reproduce them correctly. Basically, like a baby learning to talk. Actually, you can even refrain from singing for some days and just listen. The main purpose of it is not to fall back on our old ways of pronouncing things despite listening to the right version, which would be similar to pouring water on fire. So just reboot your system altogether and in this way awaken another you, the beautiful Sanskrit chanter in the service of Krishna. I firmly believe that everyone can do this. It's just a question of a little time and patience. So here's the thing I suggest. You should just listen only to the demos for 21 days without opening the tutorials. I know you'll be feeling like Eve looking at that apple, wanting to know what's good and what's evil. But believe me, that will be better. As for these 3 weeks, you'll learn things on a subconscious level, which is actually deeper than mental one, especially if you're dealing with sound and pronunciation. So right after you stop this video, mark the date on the calendar, which will be exactly 3 weeks from now, and every day until then, you'll listen to the demos at least once a day, and still better, twice, morning and evening. And if there is something small that just didn't get through during your listening stage, you inject it with the tutorials. That's where we come back from our subconscious level on the surface of the mind and put things together logically to satisfy it. But I sincerely advise you not to do it too early, as you may get too analytical prematurely, which will just result in you not absorbing things deeply. So that's how I advise you to go about the course for your own good. Now, bonuses. I made for you a document with all the course notes on each prayer and chant of the morning program. It will also contain many additional points that I didn't cover in the videos. So you'd really want to get that. It is absolutely free and you can download it from the link in the video description on YouTube or somewhere near this video if you are watching it on another platform or website. Also, together with that, you'll receive MP3s of all demo tracks so you can listen to them offline without the need to go through the YouTube download hassle. You can listen to these MP3s while driving a car, taking a walk, cooking, etc. So you keep learning on the go. Alright, thank you for being with me so far. Now let's start listening. Hare Krishna.